As I sit here and record this video, it is Thursday, day 4, right? 4? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yes, day 4 of NFL free agency. There's a lot of other stuff we need to discuss with this Detroit Lions football team. Let's waste no time. Let's get right into it, and let's talk about some of the latest free agency moves and even non-free agency moves. Just some news in general with the Detroit Lions. Let's go. Hit the intro.
Oh my God, we won the lottery! Let's go! Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness.
Alright, what's up, Lion fans? There are 3 pieces of Detroit Lions news I want to talk about with you today in this video. The first piece of news are contract extensions. We'll begin with that momentarily. 2 is a free agency signing that happened on Monday. And then 3 is a free agency departure involving this football team. Let's begin with the news that broke on Thursday morning about the contract extensions for Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. The Lions have agreed to contract extensions for Executive Vice President and General Manager Brad Holmes and Head Coach Dan Campbell for the 2027 season. And it wasn't just them. Chris Spielman, the Special Assistant to the President and CEO and Chairperson, he also got a multi-year contract extension with the Lions. I'm sure I'm not alone when I say this, but when I saw this news on Thursday morning, I just got the biggest smile on my face, and I still have a big smile on my face when I talk about this news. I mean, obviously, this is just so well-deserved, ladies and gentlemen. For Brad, for Dan, for Chris, just so well-deserved. I mean, we talk about it all the time, but I mean, seriously, I'll talk about it again right now. Just think about it, okay? Think about how quickly these 3 guys have turned around, not just any football team, this football team, the Detroit Lions, okay? Think about how quickly they were able to turn things around for us. Remember the state of this team when Brad and Dan specifically took over after the 2020 season? Wasn't great. If we're being honest here, it really wasn't great. Brad gets hired, Dan gets hired. They're coming into not a great situation, and just like that, they got it turned around. In year 2, after starting the season 1-6, this football team finished with a winning record. In year 2 of this rebuild, they finished with a winning record. That alone is super impressive. They topped that by in year 3, as we all know and love talking about, ladies and gentlemen, win the North, win 2 playoff games, and we go to the NFC Championship game. The way that it ended is still a little heartbreaking, but it's still super impressive. And it is super impressive, too, like I've mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, just how quickly they've got it turned around here in Detroit. If we win a Super Bowl with Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell leading the way, those 2 especially, lifetime contracts. Lifetime contracts. Now, I'm not joking either. I'm not trying to be funny. I've seen other people say this too on Twitter. Lifetime contracts. And I'll add this too. I haven't seen anyone mention this, but I'm being so serious about this. Build the statues. If they win us a Super Bowl, build the statues in front of Ford Field. Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. Why not? A Super Bowl? Build them the statues too, along with those lifetime contract extensions. Brad Holmes, Motor City Dan Campbell, Chris Spielman, and Sheila too. We can't forget to give a shout out to Sheila as well. Those 4, along with a lot of others, deserve so much credit for the way they have gotten the Detroit Lions to turn around and how quickly they have gotten the Detroit Lions around, as I've talked about throughout the past few minutes. Brad, Dan, Chris, congratulations on that well-deserved contract extension. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, of course, I've got my roast number coffee with me in this video. If you're a coffee lover like me, or even if you aren't a coffee lover like myself, if you're just someone who maybe wants to try coffee out for the first time, or if you're looking to try something new to get your source of caffeine, or whatever the case may be, if you're looking to be a coffee lover, if you already are a coffee lover, I can't recommend Roast Umber enough. Why should you take my word? Why should you try Roast Umber? Would I ever lie to you? Would I ever steer you wrong? The answer is no. This is seriously the best cup of coffee I've ever had. And this is just their whole bean ground coffee. If you prefer your coffee cold, they got the Nitro Cold Brew as well, which I've tasted that before. I recommend that too. So rich, so smooth, so freaking delicious, ladies and gentlemen. Seriously, give Roast Umber a try. If you love coffee, if you're looking to give coffee a try, give Roast Umber a go. You'll be supporting a Michigan-based product, and you'll be supporting me as well. Visit our website, roastumber.com. There you will find more information on Roast Umber themselves, how they make their coffee, all that good stuff. And you can also make an order, and you can use my coupon code TonyD on your order to save yourself some money on that coffee order. Does that not sound like a great deal? Sounds like a good deal to me. I don't know. I'm just saying. Thank you as always, Roast Umber, for sponsoring this video. And now, back to the video. But first, I gotta take another sip of coffee. Oh! So that was the first thing I want to talk about in this video. Moving on to news subject number 2. Amik Robertson joining the Lions in a 2-year, $9.25 million deal that's worth up to $10.75 million with incentives. Speaking of Brad Holmes, he is just continuing to add to what we could argue is maybe the one biggest offseason need for this football team this offseason. Corner. And he's made some, what I feel like are solid moves in my opinion. You know, he's brought back Emmanuel Moseley, which I'm a fan of bringing back Emmanuel Moseley. I know he unfortunately had another ACL injury in his first game back last season for us, but, you know, as I said when we signed Emmanuel Moseley last offseason, when he's healthy, he can be pretty good. So I like bringing back Emmanuel Moseley. As I discussed in the last video, I like adding Carlton Davis. That move is now official. And now you're bringing in Robertson, who he has starting experience with the Vegas Raiders. He can play inside and outside. There are some who consider him undersized, but he definitely doesn't play like he's undersized, that's for sure. And Robertson feels like a Dan Campbell kind of player to me. He really does. I'll show you why I feel that way. I'll show you these quotes from The Athletic. These are quotes from Antonio Pierce and Max Crosby about Amik Robertson. Let's start with Antonio Pierce. First of all, he's extremely talented when the ball is in the air. Pierce, now the Raiders interim head coach, said he's probably one of the more physical DBs as well. You always see him punch the ball, coming through making tackles. I don't want to call it the little man complex, but he walks around like he's 6'2", 220 sometimes, and he's fearless. He's a smart football player. He has confidence, and I'm glad he's finally having success on the field. That was from Antonio Pierce, and now this is from his former teammate, Max Crosby. Amik's a certified playmaker, defensive end Max Crosby said. He's always around the ball. Every time he's in there, he's making plays. That's just what he does. The dude is all over the place. The more playing time he gets, the more plays he makes. Major respect to Amik. The guy works his ass off. I love that guy. He's just fun to be around. He's a ball player. And again, those quotes are via The Athletic. So, is it just me, ladies and gentlemen, or does Amik Robertson feel like a Motor City Dan Campbell kind of a player? He really does feel like a Dan Campbell player to me. Physical, fearless, a ball player. He works his ass off. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but reading those two quotes, it screams Dan Campbell to me. And if that's the case, if Amik Robertson is in fact a Dan Campbell kind of player, I have no doubt in my mind that he will love playing for Dan Campbell and he will have success playing for Dan Campbell here with the Lions. I like that move. Amik Robertson, welcome to the Motor City. We're excited to have you here. That was the second thing that I want to talk about in this video. Last but not least, number 3, it is a free agent departure from the Detroit Lions. As we all know, Gardner-Johnson going back to the Philadelphia Eagles. And I just want to talk about it really quickly because I just wanted to say in front of the camera that I think we'll be all right. You know, losing CJ Gardner-Johnson, I think we're going to be all right. Now, this is nothing against CJ Gardner-Johnson. Obviously, I liked having him on the team last season, and if you remember when we signed him, I was super, super excited. It's part of my intro. My reaction to signing CJ Gardner-Johnson is part of my intro to my YouTube videos.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness.
You know, I am a little sad to see him go, but would I say I'm heartbroken? No, I'm not heartbroken. Like, I'm not going to come in front of this camera and go, oh my goodness, we lost CJ Gardner-Johnson. What are we going to do? I think we'll be all right. That's what I wanted to say in front of this camera. I tweeted this out after the news broke. The Detroit Lions still got these 3 guys that I'm excited to watch in 2024. And the 3 guys are Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, and Ife Melifonwu. We lost CJ Gardner-Johnson, but we still have those 3 guys. And as I said in that tweet, I really am excited to watch them in 2024. Specifically, Brian Branch and Ife Melifonwu. I'm excited for year 2 of Brian Branch. And Ife, as we all know, ladies and gentlemen, he played well towards the end of the season. He made some big plays. Maybe the most notable play is one of the most notable plays in Detroit Lions history. The interception to win the game in Minnesota on Christmas Eve and clinch the NFC North title for this football team. We'll be all right. I don't think losing CJ Gardner-Johnson is a humongous deal for this Detroit Lions football team. All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Those were the 3 things I want to talk about with you in this video today. So, that's all I got for you in this one. Of course, if there is any more breaking news involving this Detroit Lions team as we are now in the new NFL league year, you already know that I will obviously come in front of this camera and talk about it with all of you. We'll see you then. Until then, as always, let's freaking go Lions, baby.